Hi everyone, my name is Charlie and today I have my coordinated TBR. If you remember, last September I asked for coordinates on Twitter, then I went through my shelves, attributed those numbers to all of the unread books there, and read the books that those numbers corresponded with. The first person that sent me a coordinate is Annalise or Natulsian. They sent me the number 7, which corresponded to A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. I got this book for Christmas. It was one of my most anticipated releases, and the only reason that I haven't read it yet is because the only copy they had available at Waterstones was damaged, and that's really put me off reading it. And, you know, that's a really, really bad reason not to read a book, but that's honestly the only reason. I'm really interested in this. I'm hoping to put aside my upset at the fact that this copy is damaged to heck. I mean, seriously, I can't help but think that this hardcover had been opened and read before being returned, because everywhere it is scuppered, and it really upsets me. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I'm not over it. This book follows the character of Ophelia, who can read the past of objects. She is also able to travel through mirrors. She ends up betrothed to a man called Thorn, and I already feel as though these names are not shedding the best light on the characters within this book. And withholding judgment, I know that I was interested in this book, and I know that the only reason I'm feeling mildly unhappy with the prospect of reading it is because the cover is damaged, and I know that that is a stupid thing. Next was Emma's Bookish Lifestyle, and she sent me the number 3, which corresponded to Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. Not gonna lie, I'm terrified of this book. The last Marlon James book I tried to read was A Brief History of 7 Killings, and oof, I didn't get through it. It was a DNF for me. So I'm going to try this one. It's a fantastical novel with more of like an ancient Africa type feel to it. And it's something I'm interested in, but I'm also terrified because of the things I've heard about this novel. I've heard plenty of good things, but I've also heard plenty of bad things as well. Next came Becky Ford with the number 26, which corresponded to Liminal by B. Lewis. I got this book last year, and I still haven't read it. I plan to read it for Halloween, but I haven't heard enough about it to really craft an opinion beforehand. My friend Lily, who sent me the number 9, which corresponded to Reservoir 13 by Jon McGregor. I believe that a person has gone missing, and that the story is told through multiple voices, but I don't know yet. Feel free to tell me if I'm wrong. Amy of the channel Zoe Beck sent me the number 42, and that corresponded to Agatha Raisin As the Pig Turns by MC Beaton. I have continued to collect Agatha Raisin books since I stopped reading them in 2011. And so it's been 8 years since I read an Agatha Raisin book, and so we'll see. I know that this book sees Agatha Raisin investigating the murder of a policeman who's being trussed up like a pig and stuck on a hog roast. I remember reading about 50 pages before giving up, because it was during that time when I decided that MC Beaton wasn't the best writer in the world, but then I'd also been reading 3 books a day by her, and so I think I'd just grown tired, but we'll see. It's been 8 years, maybe I'll feel differently now. Next, I was sent number 11 by Novels Nook, and that corresponded to The Walworth Beauty by Michele Roberts. If you remember rightly, I purchased this book during my last reading log, and I still know nothing about it. Upon further inspection, I have discovered that The Walworth Beauty is actually a time slip novel and ghost story involving prostitution. I thought I wanted to try and find out some more about the book. I didn't think that I talked about it enough in this video, but I will admit, this was definitely a cover buy, and I am intrigued by it, yet there is now some trepidation because I believe that this was a wholly Victorian novel, and I'm not sure how I'm going to cope with the time slip element, because that recently happened in Barbara Kingsolver's Unsheltered, and I did not like the way it was done in that book. Catherine with an A, an indie author that I know, sent me the number 48. That book was The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. I got this book in 2016 after I read The Raven Boys, and it takes me a long while to get to these books. And so I just checked, and I got to page 57 3 years ago. I can't really remember what happened, which means I'm going to have to go back to the start, but that's exactly the same thing that happened with The Raven Boys. Them's the books. I'm probably going to vlog the experience of reading these books, but I don't see myself reading them over the entire course of June because there are other books that I want to read in that time as well. So what I think is going to happen is I might read them over 2 months and just vlog each book as I go. During those vlogs you will also see me discuss the people that sent me coordinates. I will leave links to the channels who actually sent coordinates in the description if you would like to go and check them out. Thank you to everybody who sent me coordinates. I am a bit worried about the books that I've got to read, but I think that that's a good thing. I think that to feel a bit wary of literature means that I am not being too comfortable, which is always fun as a reader. If you've read any of these books and would like to say which one to read first, then please feel free to do that in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, that is all.